Hello users, and welcome back to Above It All. This one will be pretty quick, I think, but it's also just something to keep in mind. Do you remember when, I think her name was Kelly Loeffler, and Richard Burr, and also Dianne Feinstein, by the way, but people seem to conveniently forget about that, but that's not important right now, basically illegally dumped all their stock once they learned that the coronavirus was actually going to be a really real threat, and then didn't say anything to their constituents except for the rich donors. Richard Burr, who's my senator, by the way, is now stepping down from the Intelligence Committee in the Senate, which is beautiful. And so this is a very short story so far. This seems to have just started happening today, so I'll probably follow this one. But the FBI served Burr with a search warrant and seized a cell phone belonging to the North Carolina Republican on Wednesday, the Los Angeles Times reported, as part of the FBI's investigation into lawmaker stock trades. One thing, I really hope that this does take him and the others down. Loeffler doesn't seem like she's going to win her primary in Georgia. That seems like it's kind of a pipe dream at this point. I haven't necessarily been... I just moved to North Carolina, and I should know this, but I think Richard Burr's term is still... he definitely is not up for election in 2020, I don't think. But I could be incorrect. I should know that, but I don't, so I'm sorry. I'm kind of a loser here. But I think, who was it? Steve King, I think? The guy who was like best friends with KKK people who got kicked off of committees in the House. I think if he just turns into a useless senator, I mean, that's pretty good. Obviously, he's still a Republican. But we're looking at a situation where North Carolina might have a blue senator after 2020, because I think Tom Tillis is losing in the primary polling to Cal Cunningham, which is the leading Democrat opponent. And I think that's definitely interesting. North Carolina is a state where I've said before I think it could be a swing state, especially after the redistricting Supreme Court case here. I think it's very likely that it could turn blue in the coming, 6 years or so. And so I'm here for it. I'm all here for it. And I think if Richard Burr's legacy as like one of the last Republican senators is that he got kicked out over illegal stock trading, I think that's pretty awesome. And I covered this when it happened, so if you want my opinion on that, go watch the previous videos. But I think it's hilarious that the FBI is actually taking it seriously. I wasn't actually that much expecting there to be actual real physical consequences from this, so I'm actually very pleasantly surprised to see this occur. And I'm curious as to where it's going to go next. And yeah, so if you have any information for me, or if there's any updates by the time I post this, or if you want me to keep following this, let me know, and I'll probably end up making another follow-up video when there's more actual information. But this is actually something that's, again, super interesting. And reminder, Dianne Feinstein is not a peachy clean motherfucker. She was also involved in this, and again, no one seems to remember that. It's really weird. But yeah, both parties. They're both the parties of the rich, and don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. Now, yes, there may sure be some good politicians in either party, very less likely a Republican than a Democrat, but the party's leadership is still controlled by the business class, and that's what really matters. But we'll see. We'll see if Dianne Feinstein gets wrapped up in this as well, or if it just turns out to be the Republicans. Honestly, if this takes anyone down, I'll be happy. But I would be very interested if it only took down the Republicans and not the Democrats. That would definitely be very interesting. But we'll see. So, thank you for watching, and give me money on Patreon. I'm going to start saying this more, but give me money on Patreon. I like money, and I need to buy weed, so give me money so that I can buy weed. Thank you very much.